let's say there's a dice. Okay, there's a dice, and everybody knows how dice looks like, something like that actually. Yeah, something like that, one, two, three, four, and it has different faces, like which is used for Ludo and other games, indoor games, or sometimes for speculation and kind of, gambling stuff. Okay, so what is the probability of getting one actually? Uh, Everybody knows it has six faces, one, two, three, four, five, six. So one by six. What is the probability of two? Again, one by six. What is the probability of three? Again, one by six. And likewise, all six faces have uh, six chances actually. Let me write down, okay, one by six. So again, uh, if you want to have four, or five, again 1 by 6, and 6 again 1 by 6. So total, if you draw on a chart actually, if you, with the help of frequency, it would something look, what do you do here? We have already discussed in our previous videos of sampling distribution. Here we put frequency, so let's put frequency 1, 2, and here we can put our observations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so how many times one occurred? Once. Okay, two also once, three also once, four also once. Four means that on the dice, the face of dice, with four dots. Okay, I'm talking about that one. Five, again same. So this is basically our distribution. Please watch my previous video on sampling distribution. If you don't want, here I have, what did we do? What did we do? We that we took a sample, because probability distribution uh, is is sampling distribution is also a probability distribution, that you select a sample, and that again is either with replacement or without replacement, based on probability, because you don't know. For example, here this is your X, that was your population, you can on the screen, and you had to select two samples. Okay, sample size was 2, so you actually selected 2 4, then 4 6, then 4 8, and then likewise how many samples were possible. We checked with the help of a formula that there were 9 possible samples actually. And then what did we do? We plot them, on histogram, actually kind of histogram, and you can see here we put frequency. Okay, so this is basic, and then we draw a curve. Okay, that is the same actually, but again that mm, uh, when it comes to probability distribution, there could be several types of distribution. Imagine that if one, the dice, the face, which has one dot, if it had a probability to appear twice, then how the distribution would be? Then distribution would be like this, yeah, or not? Or imagine that if 4 had a probability to appear twice, well, it has no probability, but if I'm imagining a situation, or thrice maybe, then it would be like this, and then you would see the distribution would be something like that. So depending on the distribution, the the chances of occurrence, we can have several types of distribution. Okay, one more thing that I would like to put focus on here, that probability distribution is all, the total is always one. Total is always one. How do you understand it? For example, 1 by 6 plus 1 by, in the same example that I give, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, so how many? 6, 3, and then it's going to be 6 by 6, yeah, isn't it? And then how, what? 1, yeah. So the total probability is actually, the total probability is 1, always, you would see, right? So now, by the way, what is probability distribution? If you, let's understand in day-to-day life probability distribution, that this distribution is based on chances of occurrence. For example, uh, what is the, when you leave your home for office, for university, sometimes a message popped up on your screen and it says there's a 5% probability that it's going to be a rainy day, and then because it's a signal that you have to carry your umbrella or any thing that can protect you from the rain. And what does it mean, that 5% probability? It simply means that the 365 days, if you make it 100, that, and 5% of 365 days, 5% days has probability that you may see rain today. Okay, so this here we are talking about 365 days. Okay, and from there, whatever the 5% of 365 days means that out of 365 days, this number of days may, is or having a possibility, to have rain actually. Okay, so this kind of, there are so many examples likewise, because for us, I was talking about this in sampling distribution. For us, it is very difficult actually to collect the whole population. Again, guys, I will remind you, and I do this in my almost every video, that our game is actually that whether mu is equivalent to the mean or not, whether the population mu is equivalent to the mean or sample mean or not. And this is again the same actually, you don't have to forget this. If you want to understand this, the whole scenario here, kindly watch my all videos from top to bottom, whatever we have covered till now and what I would be covering. Don't pick just one and here and there, it will not help you, as I always say that. Okay, now, so this is basically a probability distribution. I can give you one more example. Let's say you have a friend, okay, and he has a family. He has two kids. Let's say three kids, one daughter, two boys. Okay, so one daughter, two boys actually, one girl, two boys. Sons actually, I should have rather written, but that's okay. You understand it. Okay, so let's say one daughter. So what could be the probability, if you want to make distributions? So let's say the first could be daughter, then son, okay, boy, maybe first boy, then daughter, maybe like this, maybe like this. So there could be many, chances or possibilities that daughter, son, daughter, son, daughter, son. So this is, and then when we graph it on a chart, 1, 2, 3, the frequencies actually, and whatever the curve is, it does not matter, and that's basically called the distribution. Okay, and the possibility, the probability distribution. So, because we are going to discuss normal distribution, and that's why we are learning probability distribution, because normal distribution is nothing but just one part of probability distribution. That's what we are going to learn today. Okay, guys. So, types of probability distribution. Let's say Probability distribution has two types. Okay, has two types. Probability distribution has two types. Number one, random. You can write here random, variable. Random variable, is it on the screen? Yeah, random variable. And but which random variable? I discrete random variable. Yeah, discrete. And second is continuous random variable. So you know what is variable? Variable, the value which can vary. X, your X could be variable, your Y, for example, if you are measuring height, so your height is your variable. If you are measuring, COVID-19 patient, so COVID-19 patient is your variable. Okay, so what is discrete? First of all, we can actually learn this way, that easily, easily countable, okay, which can be counted easily. For example, number of students in a classroom, pair of shoes or something like that, which can be counted, right? And this variable, the random variable, from the name itself, you can understand that the variable whose actually value is continuous, right? The value which is continuous. So for example, and which can be measured on a scale. Let's say height. I will just explain height, weight. What does it mean? For example, your height is, or there's a scale, yeah, there's a scale. Your height is, let's say 149.50, okay, or 150. Your weight is 50 kg, point 50, for example. So This is measurement, you can see here, that is measured always on scale, and the value is continuous. Okay, value is continuous. So that is basically continuous variable. Now the next one is, so we can write here, I can I write, yes, uh, measure measurement on a scale, measurement on a scale, which can be measured on a scale, right? And the next is about, as I have said, continuity, number of students here in, so here I can write number of students, patients. Okay, I can give you some more examples of continuous. Let's say that you want to measure that in what frequency a teacher can finish a subject, or can deliver his lecture. Okay, because all teachers have different abilities, different capacities, or different, to finish their subjects. Some do it in a short time, some take long time. So, that we have to measure always on a scale. Okay, one more point that you need to remember is here the graph that will be, that can be drawn is always point graph. I'm writing here because I need to cover that. And that's why I need it. I'm also following the mobile phone so that I can see this video should not be very long. Okay, and this here we can see that the curve is, I mean, this is not a graph, but it's a curve. Okay, curve, and we call it, sometimes normal distribution curve, and sometimes different curves. I will tell you when I will be discussing that part. Okay, so what comes under this? What kind of? So here actually, binomial distribution, which is a part of probability distribution, binomial distribution. Number two, Poisson. Poisson, or some people say Poisson, it's a French word. Poisson was a statistician, I think somewhere in 19 or 1850s or 60s, I guess, in the mid of 19th century. So the Poisson distribution, he actually discovered this distribution. That's why it's called, it was in his name. And here we have normal distribution curve. Okay, that's what we are going to learn today. Normal distribution curve. Dear all, you know already. If you follow my previous lectures, you will realize that you know already. The only thing is I'm going to add something new. And and here maybe a, F distribution that I have to cover in future, and chi-square distribution. I will be covering that. All the tests I will be covering in my future videos. So keep watching. Okay, so now you have understood that normal distribution curve is basically a part of probability distribution, and under probability distribution, this is basically, the name is the continuous random variable, right? Having said that, let me just write down here. Let me write down here normal distribution, normal distribution. Okay, what is normal distribution? Okay, guys, let me take you to my previous, chart, and that chart you can find on my sampling distribution, in my sampling distribution video. I think this is video number 3, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, now look at this. What did we do? Again, the same thing. We actually found the mean of the samples, okay, and then we put on the scale, right? And here we put the frequency, and then we saw that how many times 2 was appeared. So 2 was appeared once, so we put here. 3 was appeared 2 times, so we put 2. Okay, likewise 4 here, and then again 5 was appeared 2 times, 6 was appeared 1. And then this distribution, this bell-shaped curve, that when you go to the temples, you can see that bell shape, bell, and that's because it's a bell-shaped curve. And that's why even that time I told you that this is also called normal distribution curve. Today let's understand in depth, what does it mean. So now you can see that normal distribution curve, something looks like this, something looks like this. something looks like this. Okay, now so let's understand the properties, and it would be very, very clear. Properties of normal distribution, okay, curve or normal distribution. So number one property, as you know, that bell shaped, it is always a bell-shaped curve. Okay, always a bell-shaped curve. Number two, because, and you can see here, it looks like a bell shape. Yeah, it looks like a bell shape. Now, number two, property number two, what could be the property? That it is symmetrical. Now, let me discuss with you what does it mean, symmetrical. What's the meaning of symmetry? Symmetry means the thing which has, for example, my hand, symmetrical. So all sizes, shapes, length equal. Now, how to understand it? Come here. Okay, come to this. Yeah, here you can see that this is the peak point. Let me just take this. Yeah, this is the peak point. This is the peak point, and symmetrical means that it has been divided into two parts. Yes or not? Let me just choose another color. Okay, it has been divided into two parts. For example, this is one part, this is one part, and this is another part. And both parts are actually equal. How can you understand it? How can you understand this? Look, to understand, this is the mean I told you. Okay, please watch my video, otherwise it would be difficult. I told you this here, the mean, mode, median are equal, which means that median means something divided by 2. Yeah, so when you end, obviously 2, 3 and 6, you can see that they both are divided into two parts. So we can say that normal distribution curves are actually has a mean in the middle and median in the middle, which means that two sides are equally actually divided. So these two sides are actually equally divided, and that's why we call it symmetry. Okay, symmetry. Now, so symmetrical property is number third. What about the third property that comes to our mind? That area under normal distribution is equal to is equal to what? 1. Remember, I told you that probability distribution is actually, when you sum up, it will be 1. Now, what is the most important, as it is called unimodel, but again, this is nothing but the same thing, that it has 1. It is not like this, for example. It is called bimodal, or if it is like this, it's called many models. But it has only 1. So because here our mean is equal to median is equal to mode, that is mode actually, yeah. So it is equal, divided into equal parts, and that's why it is called unimodal, right? So when it is too much is skewed, so some people also can say that not skewed. I will come to that part actually, what is skewed and not skewed. With the help of some questions, mathematical questions, we will prove that for example, and let me just tell you here, for example, if this is not a straight line, let me draw a little bit straight. Let's say the chart is like this. So it means that it has skewness. Skewness means the bend towards one side, either it is right or the left. It is called skewness. Okay, so uh, but normal distribution curve is not skewed. It has always equally distribution, right? One more that I want to say, that curve never touches x-axis. Sorry, x. Let me write down again. Let me see time. Okay, yeah, x-axis. Very quickly, we're gonna finish x-axis. Okay, now very quickly, look. It means that this actually, this curve never touches x, because this is x-axis. Yes or not? This is x-axis. It never touches this. You know why? Because Let me just take another color, different color. Okay, here, because at least any sample that you are selecting, or any probable distribution that you are possibly, likely to see, has at least one occurrence. For example, two, at least one occurrence. So anyways, this is frequency one. So all curves will start from here. Let's say here is the one. So all curves start from here. So how can they touch each other? They can never be like this. They can never be, because here also at least once you would see. So if the frequency is one, for example, here it is zero. If the frequency is one and here is one, so everything will start from this point. Are you getting my point or not? So this is why we call it never touches. Okay. Now, I hope it is clear. Let me just very quickly tell you some more last point, which is called the empirical rule of normal distribution curve, or normal distribution. This is extremely important, guys. And I wish that video is not going to be too long, or even if it is long, please keep watching to understand it. It is going to be extremely important. So there's an empirical rule of normal distribution curve. Empirical rule of normal distribution curve. Let me draw first of all normal distribution. Now, this empirical rule actually, according to some statisticians, based on their own observations and their studies, they found a rule which is applicable, on the probability of random continuous actually variable, that uh, they defined that curve and divided this curve into different parts, or what we call space actually. Okay, for example, they say that because this is what, this is the mean, right or not? So here mean, median and mode all are equal, right? Now they say that according, and this is actually standard deviation. Yes, that how far you are from the mean. So this is SD, yes or not? So then here SD minus 1, here SD plus 2. Let me just actually remove it. Sorry, let me just remove it, otherwise you will be confused. Just I'm writing mean. So here SD not 2, SD 1. How it is minus 1 and plus 1? You can see again from this example that here it was 4, yeah, and then 3. So minus 1, 4, 5, so plus 1, yes, and then plus 2, minus 2, and likewise, sorry, minus, likewise, plus, go on, minus, go on. You know? So this is, if right in my right side actually plus, here right side, my right side is plus and left side is minus, and that's quite, and you can again watch my sampling distribution video and you can understand from there. Okay, now my next point, what they discovered, they said that the area that comes under one standard deviation, let me write, just quickly draw this. Okay, they say that they say that the area that gets covered under one standard deviation is actually 68%. According to some 68.26%, some 68.36%. That's the difference of opinions, but again approximately 68%. Okay, and they say that standard deviation 2 within 2, okay, minus 2 here, sorry, plus 2, minus 2. They said that this area, let me change the color. Actually, they said this area, actually, okay, this whole area, okay, this whole area is approximately how much? 95%, okay, 95%. Let me write down in percentage. Okay, the third one, according to them, let me write down minus 3 SD. This is again SD. This is again SD, sigma actually. Again sigma plus 3. Okay. And if you choose, actually they say that the whole area, no, this I should choose black. The whole area is actually how much? 99 point actually 7%, 3%. Now actually, I will continue this in my next video, but let me give you some brief and very practical understanding of how to understand normal distribution curve. Actually, maybe, not maybe, all of you go to buy shoes, right? Or you go to buy, jeans or t-shirts. And one thing you might notice that according to that 42 shoes number, or in some countries it is 8 or 7 or 44, US or UK difference actually, that you would definitely find these shoes numbers. When you buy jeans, you would definitely find 34 or 32, waist, why, or 36, why? Because of normal distribution. They believe that you know the average size of height of people, or average size of the feet, they, according with the help of normal distribution, they actually figure out. And then with standard deviation 1 and standard deviation 2, with the help of that, they actually figure out that uh, out of, if we have 15-20 customers, in a day, 10 of them will ask shoes number, the or jeans waist 34 or 36 or 32. Yes, sometimes we see, extraordinary tall people, or extraordinary fat, or extraordinary thin, might come, and that's why we say 99.7%, because point 0.3 is still left, 0.3 is still left percent,